And we're back in the dog days of summer, August 22nd, 2023. Loddy and Mac on the SAC. Soon to be Spotify Stayin Hot in dedication to Brian Cashman. We're missing the Dahnfather tonight in Loddy's studio with
When was
Loddy.
the last time the Dahnfather was here?
He's too busy.
Takes the summers off. He's a teacher, I think.
Relax.
Travels all over the country, that guy.
Angry Jay ready, writing furious notes here.
I think Dahnfather might be visiting every training camp.
He might be.
There you
Get
go.
the inside scoop.
He is the real insider. Chef there's got nothing on him.
The commish just broke the story about the Dahnfather. The commish is here. And in the studio, special guest tonight, sitting in with us, Mr. Eric O'Toole. How you doing, Eric?
First time, long time.
I love it.
Since when
He's
does
in
a
the
special-
house. We like it.
Since when does a special guest get his own mic and headphones?
Jeez. What's the
And your
what's the
seat.
commish got to do?
Oh, I'm
No, I
hogging,
gave it up. I
I'm
gave it
hogging the commission's mic over here.
Talk into the mic, though, okay?
Twitter, also known as X, LodMac _ Yanks. Instagram, Loddy _ Mac _ Sports. Skygazer Brewing, still the biggest donor. Looking forward to some other friends chipping in soon.
Chiz clothing.
Chiz.
Back for school clothes.
Where's he going?
He's going to UConn. He is back to school this weekend.
Yep. Free plug for Chiz Clothing. The stuff is sweet, though.
It is.
I'm going to get one. Twister Baseball Clinics, as usual. So our special studio guests, guys, Eric O'Toole, Angry. He's been on your coaching staff at Litchfield. John, or the commission, I had the privilege of sharing a Bethlehem Plowboy dugout with him. And Loddy and Eric had a connection through
High school hoops.
teaching
High
in
school
Southington,
hoops
too?
and teaching. Yeah, just
Oh, no, he wasn't there. Okay, but
running your camp.
you guys did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Oh, the head
where,
coach
where, the
never
heck,
shows up.
where the heck were you that week? Jeez.
There's a lot to do. You guys
Yeah,
don't know
there's a
about
lot
it.
to do, I'm sure.
He was at Cumbies getting Gatorades for 3 hours.
Come on.
All right, Eric, thanks for coming, and don't let the door
Shut
hit
off
you.
that mic, someone.
So, Eric, Waterbury boy, Sacred Heart Waterbury graduate, 3-sport standout, baseball, basketball, and, of course, well, what was that other sport you played called?
Soccer.
Oh, football. And Eric went on to ECSU, captain of the baseball team. You guys won. You guys had a bid to the World Series, or you earned it, right?
06 and 07, we earned it. 06, I was actually just talking to Mike Oldenwaller the other day. And 06, we came out of the losers bracket. Lower that mic a little bit. 06 came out of the losers bracket in the LEC tournament and the New York Regional. Played a tough Cortland State team in the final of the regional. We had to beat them twice, and they really put it on us in the first round. So lost to them, and then came out of it. Showed a lot of toughness and resilience, and that's like a most memorable moment, I think, when I was there.
What were your options out of high school? I know Eastern Connecticut, obviously, Division III, as good as it gets in the country. But what were you looking at, and was Eastern the first choice, or where were you at that?
In a lot of college coaches' eyes, my options were zero. Wasn't recruited. Didn't really talk to any coaches. I was trying to. But, 5'8", 135-pound, soaking wet guy. Slapped the ball around. Wasn't really on anyone's radar. But went out to Eastern, wanted to be a PE major, one of the best PE schools around, and went out there and tried out for the team. And fortunately, Coach Alawati saw something in me that I didn't really see in myself, and took a chance on me. And I had a great experience out there.
Love that story. So you went from not being on anyone's radar to being on Coach Halawati's couch. Is that true?
That is correct. That's a true story. My 5th year, I had a couple classes to finish up. Couldn't do it in 4 years, so most of the time people say this and they're doctors, but PE major, had some classes to finish. My last year, my 5th year, one of our assistant coaches just left, like right before the season, and they had an opening. So Coach Halawati asked me if I wanted to be a coach, and I said, yeah, sure. I'm going to have to commute from Waterbury. And he said, no. Live with me. Sleep on my couch. So
That's crazy, man. That's a cool story.
Yeah, and just being around him and, having dinner with him every night and, seeing him in a different light than I saw him as a player, it was really memorable.
So did he bust your balls at all? Like, well,
Oh,
how
yeah.
was it? How was the transition
Doing
from
the dishes and stuff.
from literally from playing for him, and then you're like
Who
a couple
cooked?
weeks
You or
later?
Mrs. H?
So, Mrs. H is a great cook. And honestly, Mrs. H is like a mother, second mother to a lot of us throughout our playing time there. And I remember being there, and one night, when we had some players that needed extra support academically, we would have a 5:30 a.m. study hall.
Nice.
And one night, Coach Halliwadi, we were going to bed, and he said to me, and there was another guy I played with that was living there at the same time, coaching, doing the same thing, and said, guys, you're running study hall tomorrow morning.
Oof.
I can't believe it only took you 5 years to get your PE. It took me 5.5. Good for you.
5 and some change with student teaching.
We got
and
a
all that.
friend who it took 15.
So nobody, you were saying, really recruited you maybe out of high school, but coming out of junior high, besides Sacred Heart, who was St. Paul on you a little bit? I mean, come on.
Negative.
How
No.
how was the Sacred Heart baseball experience? Who was the coach there too?
It was Mark Saukus, great guy. We struggled a little bit, but when we got together in playing Legion, and I just was told that it was been 20 years since we won the Zone 5 title back then.
Wow.
We had a lot of guys to choose from, and we wanted to go there and compete. And some of us were on teams that struggled a little bit. So when we got together, it was all guys I played with growing up. So when we got together, we would have 2 or 3 hour practices in the summer, and we wanted to be there. So we wanted to win and compete. I played with Jose Ortiz, who was one of the best players around, one of the best hitters. Went to Avery Point, then he went to Southern. Had a great career there, set all kinds of records, and But like you guys know this, besides the wins and the games you remember, it's the relationships that you have with your teammates. Those things, last a lifetime. And you still talk about them to this day.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about your playing days on the hardwood at Sacred Heart? I know you played in a lot of big games, some heartbreakers, and obviously it propelled you into a great career at Derby. You turned that program around, and you're turning Southington around, but your roots were at Sacred Heart for hoops. Talk a little bit about that if you can.
Well, at that time, and still now, Waterbury basketball on a Friday night, usually it's rocking. I can remember playing Crosby the first time my senior year, and we're both undefeated. And the Crosby gym, as all of you know, about 2,000 fans can fit in there, and all seats were taken up. And it could be a little intimidating, but you compete, and you're all friends too. You're all friends, and you're competing against Crosby and Holy Cross and Willoughby, and even Torrington was great great then, and they stay all pretty good. So it was you had to compete every night. I played with some great players: Calvin Davis, John Lucky, Rob Jones.
Calvin Davis was a stud. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sacred Heart baseball, by the way, going back to that, they made a run in 2008. They made it to the semifinals.
Played against a tough team in Thomaston, led by I can't remember the coach's name, but
Yeah, they made a semifinal run. That's memorable.
right.
Yeah. All right, moving on from high school, ECSU, and into big boy life. Phys ed teacher, also known as Jim, Loddy, Coach Eric. What do you guys feel about phys ed versus gym?
It's phys ed. It's not what you grew up doing, playing kickball and everything else. Like, we teach fitness, right, V?
We teach fitness. We teach the social and emotional aspect of the sports.
Wow. This guy.
And the activities that we
Give me the line
engage
you
in.
always give me.
Physical educator.
When I say gym, what do you say?
That's a teacher that probably rolls the balls out.
That's
Yeah.
not what me and he do. Changing lives.
Gym is where it takes place.
So Lottie mentioned the basketball experiences coaching currently at Southington, revitalization of that program, big school, but also coached Sacred Heart baseball, has dabbled into soccer, and Coach has done the small public school, the humongous public school, and the Catholic school. Anyway, what's your favorite sport to coach?
Another great question.
Use the coaster, please.
If you say soccer, get out. That's all.
It can't be.
Honestly, the sport I'm in is the one that I truly have a passion for. I'm coaching my 9-year-old daughter's soccer team this fall, so excited for that. But baseball always has been good to me, and I had some great experiences. But at the current time, coaching basketball is it's really exciting.
You talked about going to Eastern and just want to make the team and contribute, but you become a captain. Was that something you set out to do, or how did that come about? Did you try to lead by example? Talk about that.
Well, my first year, it was tough, for sure. I remember making that walk to the locker room. At that time, you put the players who made the team on a list. And I remember thumbing through that list and hoping that, I was on that list. So made the team, fortunately. And my freshman year, I was on the JV team. We had a JV team when I was in college. Actually, Eastern just got it back, which I think is great. And I was on the sub-varsity team, and I was probably the last player on the bench.
Get out of here.
Yep. I remember, having a conversation with our JV coach who played at Eastern, had a great career at Eastern, and, to his credit, he was brutally honest, and he said, you got to get better. And so that summer, I kind of made a decision, am I going to continue playing, or am I going to, kind of give it up and just focus on academics? And I remember, my parents brought me up to, you got to work hard for everything. And that was, my dad, to his credit, never talked about wins and losses and personal accolades. He just talked about doing everything you can every day to be better. And that summer, I just went after it. I was hitting off the tee every day, taking, 400, 500 swings. And my sophomore year, something clicked, and I had a way better year. And, I was on the varsity roster and getting some at-bats.
So the first time that your name is written in the lineup for a start, varsity, Eastern Connecticut State University, what's that feeling like?
Actually went behind the dugout, called my parents.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
I think Coach Holloway, he kind of knew. He put up the lineup early, and he would say, check the lineup, and found my name. My first time playing, I was in the fall, I was DHing as the leadoff hitter, which Kenny Lofton, I think, was the last one to do that. Found my name, and my dad made the drive up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's freezing cold in his
So
shorts,
cool.
as all you know. He
How about for
only wears shorts.
all those kids listening? That's a great story. Perseverance, work ethic.
But,
no excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your dad with great life lessons as well.
Listen, I would pinch run some games in the ninth inning on a night game. I remember one against Trinity College. It's about 40 degrees out, and he was there.
Yeah.
Again, with shorts on. Freezing cold, but he just wanted to, see us play, see me play.
Have you ever called your parents when the lineup comes out for your softball team that you're on now?
Haven't yet.
Anyway, thanks, Eric. I mean, that's great. You're off the spot now. You're just going to join us, Eric. We look forward to your contributions. Crocker and Mr. Bedell back in the house.
Where's Bedell
We
been?
got a studio audience. I don't know,
It
but he's
gets near
back.
like football season and you start popping in now. We're not
Dolphins,
talking about
Schmalfins.
Miami.
I think he's been in the Poconos for 3 months.
I see you're wearing that Wisconsin shirt for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, where's he going?
Not Miami. Can't fit him in.
Cowboys. So it's baseball season.
Really?
Yeah. And I've officially hit rock bottom. I won't tune in regularly. I won't do it. I'll try to catch a little bit on the radio. Other than that, I just, look at the play-by-play on the phone, and I can't watch.
Here's
Go
what
ahead.
I've been doing. I watch the Yankee game. If the other team scores 2 runs, I put on the Little League World Series. I know they're not going to win. I come back, it's 11-0, right? And then watch a Little League game, and I'm happy. I can't do it anymore. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
So,
I watch them all.
do you?
I'm a loser.
He loves agony.
He likes to be angry.
Yep.
Masochist over there. You want to be punished?
I was actually when Justin Turner hit the home run on Sunday. I was telling Loddy it made it 5-2. I literally just started laughing.
You imagine?
They had tied it too, and it was like a big deal. They're like, "Hey, the Yankees come back." And Kay is going nuts about their comeback, and literally 3 batters later, they're down 5-2.
Jay, I got to ask you, was Sunday's loss as brutal of a loss as there was this season?
No, I mean the Marlin game.
Marlin
the Marlin
game, yeah,
game
that
the
was
week
tough one.
before was like I think that was the official end
In the
of the
ninth?
season. Yeah, when they gave
They
up.
were
like,
winning
they gave up a touchdown.
7-3.
But you keep
Holmes
thinking
is pretty good
You keep
now,
thinking that's rock
second
bottom
half.
right there, right? And then the next day happens,
No, then they
Unbelievable.
got swept against Atlanta. They got swept
and that
against
was
Boston.
embarrassing.
So Cash's Clowns have, which now the team is
I mean,
Cash's
somebody
Clowns.
just had a dinger.
They've. What are we down now?
I think it's only 1-0.
Is that Rodon? So Cash's Clowns have reeled off 8 straight losses. On our way to last place, firmly standing alone in last place and not going anywhere. In the American League East, we're only 17 out as of game time tonight, 22nd of August. I can't believe this is happening. 9.5 out of the wild card, which is like, I don't know, 45 teams that make the playoffs now. Like the old days, you had to freaking win your league, play the other team, or play the team that won their division, and then the winner goes to the World Series.
Yep.
There's 45 teams. Everybody gets a freaking trophy, and we're not getting anything. I think we can all agree that I think we all want more and more failure now. This is becoming our thing, right? I mean, is anyone Yankee Nation out there? Is there anyone truly thinking it can be turned around and you want that to happen? Let's start with you guys. We can't speak for everybody. But do you think anyone really believe? If you read some of these comments people put out there on Twitter or
From the
X or whatever,
manager, mostly.
they're freaking crazy.
No shot. I'm telling you, they were done. They were done a month ago. We talked about it. This is exactly what I want to see happen: is them continue to lose because it's the only chance that something may change. And I'm not even guaranteed there will be change, but
Here's my
it's
thoughts.
the only way.
Here's my thoughts coming over tonight. Fire Cashman, fire Boone, hire Mattingly, and hire Jeter, and go from there. At least make a change that the Yankee fans can embrace, and then bring up some young kids.
So, I thought the season was over. It was before it started,
You've been saying that for years, though.
and I've been right for years. So,
I mean, you're cranky, though. I mean, you're
unless
angry.
the philosophy changes, it doesn't matter. Like
Freak.
I'm with Kamish, but unless the philosophy changes and they bring in somebody else to make the decisions, it doesn't. Like calling these guys up is great. It's just window dressing. You know, that's great that they've called up a couple minor leaguers and stuff. It's thanks.
Who came up like today?
Well, Pereira and Peraza came out. That's just to
Pereira's here?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's just to
Walked his
appease
first
the
AB.
just to appease the fans. They weren't good enough to play against the Red Sox over the weekend.
He's in a
though.
lineup?
He just walked.
Yeah.
Great.
First AB.
Hal knew there was going to be sold out games over the weekend, so we didn't need to bring the kids up. Now that he knows there's only going to be 30,000, let's bring some kids up and
You think Hal knows things?
when it comes to the bottom line, hell
comes to
yeah,
money.
he knows.
I'll tell you this though. I don't want to steal any of the Commissioner's thunder, but like, who's the most influential living Yankee right now?
Jeter
I would agree with you. Probably Jeter.
or Mattingly.
I would
So-
say Jeter, yes.
How about we get some like blood in the ground? Meaning, you had a great quote about the Plowboys in there. Like it meant something to us guys that played it. We're having the 100th anniversary on Saturday for all you guys that want to come out. But
Yeah, I'll be there.
like
Thousands and thousands.
guys make fun of us, but it meant something to us. Johnny put his head like he's going to be in his obituary, you know. It'd probably be in mine now that he mentioned. I didn't think of that, but like, can we get instead of us having Mathlers decide who plays and what the lineup should be? Can we get a guy like Jeter? And I'm not saying Cashman doesn't care. Obviously, it's his job. He better care. But like, it means more to guys that have been there. Like, do the Plowboys mean something to
He
us?
doesn't want to let down the Yankees
To
because he
us,
never did when he
right?
played.
So, like, you think it means something to Jeter? Like, if he is there, you think he could get Hal's ear and say, "Hey, it ain't working."
is not- yeah, exactly.
I'm not
It's not
saying,
working.
I'm not the huge, but I get everybody uses numbers, analytics, and all this stuff. But like, the Yankee formula doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work. Now, you can say, well, the Astros use it. Well, their formula works, and the Braves works, and all that. But like,
Works for their personnel. Yeah.
until their philosophy changes and how they handle things, nothing's changed. Like the way they handle players, they call up guys. They like it just sucks. Like it sucks.
They
That's
got
why you call
Verlander
me
for
angry,
a bucket
but,
of balls a couple years ago.
And you
like,
had mentioned to me
I
when
did.
he became available,
I
you
did.
said,
I
"Why
said
don't
we
the
should
Yankees
get
get
him."
him?" Yeah,
And like the second half of his career better in the first, and the guy was a Hall of Famer in the first part of
he's
his
won
career.
Cy Young since he was anybody's
Multiple.
And then they ship him off, and where is he now?
Right
He's
back at
freaking
it.
back there. They're doing something right. I want to say one thing about the Yankee way, and so I kind of see it like this. The Rays came out with like cutting edge stuff with Madden and their departments,
And they had
got
to.
these crazy shifts. Yeah, they have to with the payroll, but they bring up studs. I mean, boy, that guy's in trouble,
Yeah.
Franco. But
Yeah,
but
he's in
like
big trouble.
you know, they got the shifts, and they play their kids, and they're fast.
The opener.
They got the opener. So Cashman looked at it with jealousy and was like, well, we're going to beef up our math department. We're going to have a new lineup every day. That's our thing. We hate it. Like, we don't have players that... like, even if that lineup thing worked, like, you don't want to go into 7-10 on a Wednesday night not knowing if Judge is hitting first or fourth. I mean, I want a freaking leadoff. I don't care who he is. You mentioned Kenny Lofton. Give me him. Give me Brett Butler. Give me freaking Jeter. Give me Knobloch. Give me freaking Gardy smashing the bat in the top of the dugout. Give me a leadoff guy. Then give me a two-hitter that puts the ball in play.
To those guys.
That puts the ball in play. He doesn't want to strike out. He wants the ball on the ground so the little leadoff guy can go around the bases. And then...
a three-run homer, right? Like Earl Weaver said.
Jesus. Yeah, and three-run homers spoil rallies, by the way. I want to go back to freaking baseball. E, what you want to say?
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
It's getting,
He's so profound.
it has to change.
You know, I'm
It has
watching-
to change.
listen, I don't like the bat flips, and I don't like the celebrating a single when you're on first base, but there is no joy with these guys at all either. Right? There's no fun.
They are a boring team.
Right? The
They are a
clubhouse is
boring
lost. They're mailing it in. They're going through the motions. Do something that I'm hoping the young kids will bring some energy, but the clubhouse culture is going to spread to them.
Angry Jay and I were talking. You watch the Phillies. They got long hair. They got beards. They got eye black. They're jumping out of the dugout.
Harper's crossing the plate, sliding on the inside park home run,
and just.
right.
And we got a guy in Stanton that can't score on a base hit to right center field
And that
with
ball,
2 outs.
That ball Harper hit last night where he scored on. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did Stanton make second?
It's a close play. It's a bang,
there's a
bang,
relay.
bang,
Yeah,
bang play
there's
at
a relay
second.
at second. Yeah.
Guys, we're not quite ready for the next segment, which focuses on dumpster fire teams, but let's take the Yankees out. Who's the biggest dumpster fire squad in the major leagues? I mean, just a non-fan would say, oh, this team's terrible. They're not even going to have a team soon. Who is it?
Not counting the Yankees.
Oakland.
Oakland.
Yeah, definitely is.
So Oakland A's batting average as a team is 224, while the Yankees come in at an astounding 230. Okay, they got 13 more hits than Oakland. They both got similar at bats, 4,100. The Yankees have $216 million worth of payroll, more than the A's. So nothing changes if nothing changes. Something's got to change. What we're doing sucks. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I've been telling you guys.
Yeah. So you're mentioning batting average. Like they don't even consider batting
No,
average
they
anymore.
don't.
They go by OPS. So if the guy walks and hits home runs, that's what they want. So when they do make the playoffs, and people keep saying the Yankees make the playoffs every year. Well, they didn't make it in 2015. They didn't make it in 2016. They're not making it in 2023. And they made it in 2020 because they had a hockey tournament. So it's basically 4 times in the last 11 years. So can we save that crap for somebody who believes it? But as far as the OPS thing, the Yankees get eliminated every year in the playoffs because they can't hit, right?
Can't hit good pitching.
They can't hit good pitching. What do good pitchers don't give up a lot of walks and home runs, right?
Right.
But that's how we build our team.
Yeah, 100%.
Genius.
I was
Genius.
saying to
Let's get
Bobby
that formula.
Mack before the podcast started that you imagine if they didn't win in 2009, how would he be feeling?
Oh.
Unbelievable, right? That's a terrible.
Be looking at 22 years without one.
And I got to tell you, that was great, but I almost feel lucky that we won. Matsui down there, Damon taking the extra base.
A-Rod
Didn't
going
we
off.
lose game 1? Like, didn't we
They
get it
lost- they
shoved?
lost game 1.
Did we get it
Cliff Lee.
shoved? Yeah, like
Cliff
Cliffy.
Lee.
But so my minor league Yankee Ben Ruta, is that his name? Comes out this week with just a little info, and like the people are making a big deal of it. He just said some simple things. Here's the simple things. Quote: "There's no baseball being taught by the Yankee organization. They don't teach base running. They don't teach about moving runners. They have one philosophy: hit all strikes hard. So they overswing, they swing and miss, and they'd prefer a swing and miss over a ball that's not hit 95 miles per hour. What
Exit velo.
What
Gotta have
universe is that baseball? Like, and by the way, that's what's ruining kids, because like these dummies running these travel teams, they think the same thing. They want to do what like the big leaguers do. Well, the big leaguers with the, best pay or not highest payroll, but like probably the best resources of any sports organization in the history of all sports. They're doing it freaking wrong. Go back to Brett Butler, man. I looked him up the other night. Get the ball on the ground and scoot down there and get the first. Just get the first.
Hit the ball
Can we just
opposite
get the
field,
first?
too, right? Opposite field. Go opposite field. You'll hit
Jeez.
300 out there.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
They have guys that played in those 96 to 2001 teams that they wouldn't even look at nowadays in a Yankee organization.
100%.
I got a question
Tim
for you
Raines.
guys.
Tim Raines wouldn't play on this team.
Brocious, how about Brocious? He been in
Brocious
there?
wouldn't play on this team.
I got a question
No.
for you guys.
Curtis.
Girardi wouldn't have played.
Gerald Williams.
Do you need numbers to see who's a good baseball player? Is
need
it
your
really
eyes.
that hard?
No,
Need
we
eyes.
saw A-Rod, right? We saw him for years. The numbers don't mean anything, right? We saw Jeter for years, too. If you're a Jeter fan, you saw what he did as a career.
But like if you watch Ohtani play or Mike Trout or whoever, Aaron Judge, like their OPS or their WAR,
No,
whatever. the hell,
you
like,
don't need to flip over to baseball
That's what I'm
cards.
saying.
Stud. Like our
It's
great
not really
high school
hard.
coach Greg Hunt said. Remember this guy Kenny Girardi I always used to talk about.
Yeah.
Like he made all state, hit 183. Well, yeah, because he smashed the ball up. But like the numbers mean nothing. They mean nothing. And if you want them to mean something, well, we could have that conversation too. Because let's look at our numbers. They freaking suck.
Yeah, but they don't look at that. The 60 and 64, they don't look at that.
Why is everybody panicking? It's only July.
The one stat I will say, and you guys might kick me out for this, but the exit velocity, I do see hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, like you're supposed to hit the ball hard.
But you gotta make contact to
You
hit
got to
it
make
hard.
contact
Though.
to do that. Yeah.
Nobody ever told you.
Okay.
Don't
And there used to be a time when you hit into a double play, is because you hit the ball hard.
Jim Rice.
Now it's because we're not running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yankees don't even hit doubles. They don't get doubles.
How about this? Do you know that they don't have a guy with 20 doubles on the year on their team?
Their RBI leader has 50.
Just got
What?
the fifth. The Yankees don't have a guy with 20 doubles
They
yet.
should have
be-
somebody with 50.
I believe it. Donnie Baseball used to have 40 and 50 easy every year.
Gleyber
Donnie
Torres-
from Evansville.
he had a home run on Sunday, got him to 50 RBIs. His first Yankee to get to 50 RBIs.
Let's
this year.
go. We could get 70.
Mac, to
You're
your
gonna have
point
to get
earlier,
hot. Gonna have to get hot.
to your point earlier about the base running, even back in the late '90s, early 2000s, we didn't have super fast guys, but they were great base runners, and I think that's a
First, third, yep.
undervalued stat that the
Baseball players?
Yankees don't
Yeah.
look at.
But they're not teaching it. And the little athletes that probably can run the bases just because that's how they got their shot. Like, however you got your shot at Eastern, like Tyler Wade, like he got his shot because he's versatile and can run. So like, is it Tyler or Tyler Wade?
Tyler Wade.
He'd go first to third, but the everyday second baseman can't. And now people are blowing him up on X or Twitter or whatever because he gets hits.
No, I'm
He
done with
sucks.
him. I'm
He
done
doesn't
with him.
hustle. He sucks and he doesn't hustle.
No winning players.
Shout out Bubba Crosby.
It's the
He was on
philosophy.
fire for a minute, yeah. Give me Andy Stankiewicz.
It's
so you
the
don't even
philosophy,
know who
though.
he
It-
is. Do we?
I mean, Stanton doesn't even like Stanton
Dewey
jogs everywhere. Stanton jogs everywhere, and it's okay. It's okay.
I got one term now, and I got a lot of friends that know a little something about baseball, so I'll probably get people will claim I don't know because I'm gonna just trash this swing path. What are you talking about? Like, you're talking about the barrel to the ball. Like, why do we have to call it the swing path? And why do they have to change? Like, what are they talking about?
They change
You can
everything.
hit.
It's all
you
big
can't
business,
hit.
Bobby Mack. It's
So
all
I
big
love John
business.
Smoltz.
Swing
I
path?
don't know how you guys feel about John
the ball.
Smoltz. Did you hear him? Have you heard him? Like, he refuses to call the sweeper. He's like, it's called the slider. Like, we're not changing the names. And I agree with him as far as they started doing this, 10 years ago? The Rays did it because they didn't have a starting pitcher. Like, the opener.
What is
How
that,
about
a slower slider? Shut up, man.
He's
Like
a
it's a-
starter.
it's a starting
He's
pitcher.
a starter
Yeah.
that's going one inning. Can we just say that? Like, we have to change names and stuff? I don't know.
Let's get off this, man. I don't want to.
No,
I'm
yeah.
trying to have a
But
good time tonight.
The Yankees have lanes for their relievers. Lanes. We got a good lane. How
So-
about you just pitch, dude?
Well, yeah, Lane. Even Kiner Falefa said it on the play at the plate the other day. He's like, "Oh, I hit this lane and that lane." Shut up, dude. He tagged you out.
Dude's got the fourth most at bats on the Yankees this year. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to
The
know.
guy who
McKinney,
lost his job.
How about Angry Jay and me? We couldn't wait for a Rort vet. How's that working out, Angry Jay?
He had a dinger today.
Did he?
He just did a
Rort
dinger.
vet, he's on
Saturday
fire.
morning.
I love
He yanks your
Sterling.
back.
He's at like 90.
He yanks your back.
I love Sterling. Here comes Rortvet. All right, last thing.
Did you hear him
Babe,
saying by the way, did you hear him saying second deck?
Shut up.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up. Kids show. It's a kids show. All right.
Second deck. He's going to second deck.
Bobby Cox.
Let's go around the horn real quick. Pick an American League team that will be representing the league in the World Series. Quickly. Go.
Astros.
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 Wishful thinking on my part because they're fun. Baltimore.
I'm going with Baltimore.
I love Baltimore, too.
I think they're going to catch it.
Yep.
And you know what? You got to catch it for what, 2-3 weeks, and that's it, man. I think.
Man, talk about young players that can play the game. Woo.
My bank is named after one of the players.
That's one of those teams
that's
that
right.
Santander. Yeah.
that's one of those teams that people say are a couple years away that do it now.
No,
you know, right?
they brought all
Do
those
it now.
kids. They brought
Yeah,
all
Coach
those kids
Hunt.
up the last couple of years, and they took it, and they're
what?
reaping the benefits now. They took a lot of losses, man. They took a lot.
He did take it. All right. National League. Who will represent the National League in the World Series? Can't say Braves. No, go ahead.
Atlanta.
You don't say Braves, you're saying Dodgers.
Diamondbacks.
Ooh, Tool.
My dream World Series is Phil's against Orioles.
That would be so much fun.
1983 all over again.
Yep.
I'm going Braves. Studio audience. You got
No
anything?
Braves. Did you say no Braves?
Yeah.
You did.
I said Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh. Tomahawk freaking chop. I can't
Badal,
say
who you
that
got?
anymore.
Get up here. Who you got?
They don't even follow
Crocker,
baseball.
who you
Let's
got?
go to the next
Oh, yeah,
one.
they do. But all this.
I'll go Dodgers.
Dodgers
like
against
Crocker.
who? Dodgers against who?
Oh, you love this. Red Sox.
Listen,
They ain't out of
they're
it.
fun to watch.
They can
They
hit.
hit the
I
ball.
like that whole Orioles Phillies thing.
Haven't been here in a month.
All
Get in
right.
there. All right. Okay. So, thanks, guys. Next segment brought to you by Skygazer Brewing. This is what we like to call trivia time. Angry. What do you got?
I got one for you guys. So saw this the other day. There are nine pitchers since 2000 that have won 200 games.
Say it one more time.
For you guys not paying attention, 9 major league pitchers that have won 200 games since the year 2000.
Verlander.
Verlander.
One more time. Say it. 9 major
No.
league. What?
No.
Kershaw?
Come on.
Verlander is the top of the list.
What's
Yes.
the question?
Kershaw
There's been
is
nine
number
pitchers,
8.
9 pitchers since
Since
2000 that have
2000
won
100.
200 games.
Who are they?
Scherzer.
Scherzer is
Scherzer,
correct.
Verlander, Kershaw.
That's 3.
Halliday.
No.
Since 2000?
Yeah,
Could Cologne be on that list?
he could be, and
Is
he
he?
is.
CC? No,
CC, yes.
Ooh.
So we got 5. We got Verlander, Sabathia, Scherzer, Cologne, Kershaw. We are missing 1, 2, 3, 4. Adam Wainwright is at 198. So he could be the 10th if he gets 2 more wins.
Bumgarner?
Who?
Madison Bumgarner?
No.
Greinke?
Yes. We're down to 3.
Rodon?
No.
I think he's got
about
54.
100. He's got about 160 to go.
Schilling from the peanut gallery.
No.
From 2000?
Nobody is active.
Pedro?
No.
You got to give us a hint. We got to move along.
Okay. One guy threw a perfect game.
Holiday?
No.
Oh, you got mentioned.
David Cohn.
He was a lefty.
Steve Martin also.
Cliff Lee?
Oh, Burley?
Mark Burley is correct.
Oh.
We guys are
Remember when he put it between, like,
Yeah.
scooped
what's
it between
never talked about in analytics and in Moneyball,
How about the play to center
which
fielder?
is garbage, is
Dela
they
Cruz?
never talk about the pitchers who are all phenomenal, but they just talk about the stupid numbers. One of the pitchers from the A's,
Zito?
Hudson?
Hudson.
Huddy? Yeah.
Hudson, Tim Hudson, and we're missing one other guy who had 200
Felix
exactly.
Hernandez.
No,
That's a good guess, though.
Oh, I had no idea.
Red Sox mostly.
Red Sox, mostly.
Beckett.
Not a Valdi, doesn't pitch enough. Lefty? So, not Sales.
Lester.
John Lester.
Lester.
There's 9.
Trivia time brought to you by Skygazer Brewing.
I got one too.
Commish.
Okay. 6 American sports teams share the same nickname. Who are they?
Professional American sports teams, nicknames.
6 of them.
Luckily, there's only one
Cardinals?
Yankees.
Cardinals is correct.
Panthers?
Panthers is correct.
Yeah, we got to.
The Washington football team?
Not a lot of hockey
kidding.
fans here. We got to go maybe some hockey.
Jets.
Jets.
I was thinking
correct.
I was thinking Bobcats, man.
That's, yeah.
Winnipeg still got a team?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Judge blew that. I got it.
Hints. Let's go. How many more? How many are baseball?
Another New York team.
Rangers.
Rangers, yeah.
Another New York team.
Giants.
Giants.
Jesus.
That's right. That's an easy one. That's a layup.
Freaking terrible. That was that was a.
That was a layup we all
I was
missed.
thinking about the Francesa one where he talks about you think the San Francisco Giants and New York Giants get together?
Yeah. Al Albuquerque. I'm just not gonna pronounce the guy's name. You're thinking
I call him
Albuquerque. No, you're talking Al Albuquerque. Who's the last one? Is it baseball?
Actually, I forgot. So when you guys say it, I'll know.
All right, let's put that in the comment section.
There are 6 of them, though. I promise.
That was perfect.
Yeah, you got
Hey,
5.
you got
out of
5.
6.
Good
5 out
job,
of 6. Yeah,
Commissioner.
All right, guys, we're done with baseball for tonight. But in honor of the 2023 Yankees, the 2010 to the 2023 Yankees, we're having the dumpster fire section of the show, and I want you to just think about an underachieving bunch. I don't care what sport, as long as people would, for the most part, know about them. Just an underachieving bunch like Cashman's Clowns. Who is as sucky as Cashman's Clowns? Loddy.
Bobby Mack. By the way, September 22nd, you going to the stadium? There's a big
Fire Cashman night.
big Fire Cashman
I
night.
just want to say, when we
You
first
started it.
this,
You started it. You started it.
I wanted to go down there for a rally.
I know.
I'm going to tell you this. You could say no. You guys could all say no. I just want to throw it out there. I'm not paying a cent to the New York Yankees. But could I go to Stan's? Could I go to, is it Billy's?
Billy's.
Can we go to Stan's, Billy's, and maybe stop down McLean Avenue, down Yonkers, and go for the pregame, because you know they're going to confiscate stuff, and they're going to play hardball that day in the stadium. But can we just be part of the rah-rah stuff and get back in the car and listen to it on the way home?
No, I'm out.
You're a loser. Angry?
Anything that kills Cashman, I'm in favor of.
Yeah, we stopped down Yonkers.
I ordered my
Sandwich
shirt.
at the Bodega?
Ordered my shirt the other day.
Those shirts are nice, by the way.
The one on Barstool you saw?
Yeah.
Those are nice. I got another one just says Fire Cashman.
All right, Bobby Mack. I got a good.
I also wanted to make those.
That was where your guy Chiz. I mean, come on.
Dumpster fire, go.
2011 Red Sox. Padal and Kroc. You remember this team, right? So in 2010, if my memory serves me, they didn't make the playoffs, and they wanted to spend a ton of money the next offseason. They got Crawford and Gonzalez and whatever the case may be. The team was loaded. There was no chance they weren't making the playoffs that year until September came and they lost 18 of their last 24 games. And that was when Francona was kind of being pushed out and Beckett was eating chicken in the clubhouse and who's playing video games, this and that. That's my biggest.
John Lackey. Yeah.
Yeah, Lackey. Right? Lackey, Beckett, all those guys. That's my biggest underachieving team, probably of all time, Crocker, besides the current Yankees.
Other than diverting the Yankee conversation of 2023, I have to agree with you. But good Lord, let's focus on what's right with the Yankees this year. The recipe for success. I love it. Don't change it. Everything's working fine.
All right, so I got
you
one.
got, Angry
I got
Joe?
one. So there's one. I'm gonna have to go with the Brooklyn Nets this year's Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna take them over my Philadelphia Eagles, 2011 Eagles, who were dubbed the Dream Team. But since Vince Young dubbed them the Dream Team and he wasn't a starter, they were a failure only because they spent so much money. But I gotta go with the Nets, man. Like this past year, first of all,
Yeah.
they got Durant, they got Kyrie, they beg Harden to come.
Yep.
I mean, you got two full-blown, full-fledged losers on the team. What could go wrong in Kyrie and Fat James Harden? They got three guys making $40 million a year apiece. They're dubbed, one of the best teams coming in. They're Eastern Conference preseason champs. Literally by December with Kyrie and Harden, they want to fight each other. Like, who could have saw that going off
Yeah,
the
when
rails?
are people going to learn with these two guys?
So Kyrie's traded. Harden wants out. They're all gone. They're literally all gone within the year and a half. They won one playoff series in 2 years.
Shame on Durant because he had a thing going. And actually, shame on Draymond because he ruined it by being just a bully. That's why the other kids, shipped off to Washington. It's Draymond's fault. And by the way, they should have won another one because you remember Durant being about 1 inch on the line against the Bucks. And is that a deciding game?
That was the net. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. They. I mean,
I
the
don't know.
talent is
Yeah, they had
undeniable.
three of the best players in the NBA in the top 20, and they won one playoff series in 2 years. And they don't catch any crap. They're like, humongous failure.
All right, studio guest E. What do you got?
Yeah, I have one just because of how talented they were and how great they were throughout the season. I remember being in my dorm room as a junior in college and watching this game and just being disappointed. It was the 06 or the 05-06 UConn men's basketball team. They were great throughout the season. I was just looking up their stats. They were 30-4 on the season, 14-2 in the Big East. And they lost to a tough George Mason team, but I remember just looking at that roster and seeing how talented they were. So, and you guys remember that roster. They had, let me just read it off. Let's see.
They had pros everywhere.
Marcus Williams, Hilton Armstrong, Josh Boone, Rudy Gay, Craig Austrie, Stamford, Connecticut native, Rashad Anderson, Ed Nelson, Big Ed,
Forgot about him.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Denham Brown. So they were super talented, and I'm sure they would tell you the same thing.
I'm going to piggyback off that one. Denham made a shot at the buzzer, I think, a layup at the buzzer, forced it overtime. Before the game, Larinaga was the coach who they just beat this year at Miami. They played in the CAA, and he had called it the Connecticut Assassination Association.
You kidding me?
So he was rubbing it in Calhoun's face before, and everyone's thinking that they're going to win that game. Totally embarrassing. Just a game they have to win there.
That's what makes the tournament great, though. Like, that can happen any night. And, that's probably when it started to be like, you don't have to be a blue blood to go far in this tournament. And I mean far. Was George Mason was in the Final Four, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So was that in the 8 right there?
Yep.
Elite
Yes,
eight.
that was a late 8 game.
I mean,
Wasn't that the game Rudy Gay yawned in the layup line at the beginning of the game? It was on national TV. The big yawn, and you just knew they were done. Like he had no interest. If memory
Rudy
serves
on
me
that team?
Yeah, he was on that team.
Remember
That was the
Danielle
game.
missing the free throws? Listen, hard to complain with the Huskies. But, yeah, that was a disappointing end. Kamish.
No, I'm piggybacking on his. I don't have any games that are like disappointing to me.
All right, I'm going to say the 2003-04 Lakers. They got Powell and Kobe, and they figured they'd just, bring in a couple guys by the name of Gary Payton, Hall of Famer, Karl Malone, Hall of Famer. They got Horace Grant. Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
I mean, just off of Jordan's.
You're talking about
coaching.
Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, Shaq and Kobe. Who'd I say, Powell?
Yeah.
That's a fine.
That's what I meant. My man Luke Walton, Imi Udoka, Brian Russell, Kareem Rush out of UCLA,
They have four first team ballot Hall of Fame.
Fisher and Fox. I mean, talk about pieces. And, it just didn't work. They sucked. So that's our dumpster fire segment. We want to thank Skygazer. Mr. Bedell from the Peanut Gallery.
How about just real quick, the 1980 Russian hockey team?
They blew it. They blew it.
I mean, those guys had to go find new countries to live in after that loss.
Are they dumpster fires? They just lose one horrible
Some
game.
of those guys have never been seen again.
They also won 4 gold medals before that. But
Yeah.
On the Dahnfather program, I think.
All right. Good time so far tonight, guys. So, one of our favorite in every episode segments, Who'd You Rather? We're switching it up. E, if things don't change,
They don't change.
they don't change.
Did Rocky say that, or what did he say?
If you can change and I can change,
Yo, Adrian.
everybody can change.
I'm not going to lie. I heard it on the Michael K. show today. Bart Scott said it.
Oh.
Michael K. insulted Yankee Nation the other day on his show by saying to one of his co-hosts,
Was he announcing?
one of the ESPN guys, he said, "You sound like a fan," and he was
Yeah,
he
I
said
saw
it in
that,
a
yeah.
demeaning way. Like, why can't you sound like a fan? That's what you are. That's who's paying for all this. You can't sound like a fan. Like, I'm kind of liking the fact he's showing the chutzpah to go against the textbook answers, but don't turn into Mike Francesa. What's he going to now gain another 100 pounds and use a cane to get around now?
Bobby
Jesus.
Mack. Think
Oh, no,
about
he
Bobby
doesn't like
Mack.
that one.
Think about if Mike and the Mad Dog were still doing their thing in New York, what those shows would sound like right now.
Oh, Russo.
Those guys would be that
crucified.
front office would be gone.
Without a doubt.
They'd be gone. That's how influential those guys were.
Russo would be crucifying him.
Yep.
Is that the greatest 30 for 30 there was made?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, but it's
That's
pretty
not
good.
the greatest, but it's good. Yeah. Not in my opinion. It's not
What
the
is
greatest.
the greatest, Loddy?
You think so?
No, I said, what do you think is the greatest?
I'll go with the OJ one. The 5-part, 2-hour one apiece.
Is that in the 30 for 30
was
series, though?
That was
Yeah.
intense. Those 5. I like the U one.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Catholics versus convicts?
I like that one.
Was Sapp on it?
No.
No, not
He
yet.
was after.
Russell Maryland? Great
Yes,
combo.
he was a freshman, I think.
Was he?
Yeah.
Michael Irvin.
Irvin was
Number
definitely on that
47?
team.
He was
Definitely on that team.
wheeling the machete.
That was must-watch
Shut up.
TV. That game. What's that?
Winslow? Was Winslow part of it?
No.
No.
Highsmith. Had to be a Blades on that team, right?
Yeah.
There was
Brian
about a
Bl-
20-year
Brian
run
Blades,
where.
Brian, Benny, and the whole family.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing the documentary on Netflix about the Florida Gators too. That's gonna be pretty good.
The,
Oh,
did you see
yeah.
Did you see the Manziel one?
I did.
I did
I
not.
saw it last
Pretty
week.
good.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Not
good.
bad.
So I'll tell you what's not the best 30 for 30 is when Isaiah and Magic are crying and all that. Come on, man.
There's one good one.
Get over it.
I think it's on Prime
Prime
now.
now.
But the G League, did you see that Bill
No, I
Simmons
haven't seen
one?
that one.
It's about guys working from the G League to get to the NBA. It's on Prime now. I forgot the actual name of it, but they have one of the kids that we played against was a Division III kid from the Jewish school, Yeshiva.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big part in it. Like it's pretty good. It's really good how hard the guys work just to get noticed.
I agree. It's funny you say that. As we speak at the Bristol Sports Armory down Valley Street, Bristol, in the Bell City, Stanford standout Jaden DeLear from Granby, Connecticut, is training down there right now in hopes to find a spot in the G League, and he's training alongside a young man that went to Eastern Connecticut State University. You probably don't know him. Name is Dom Dow.
I've heard of him. Yeah, the guy on our team.
Yeah, you recruited him. All right, so this segment is called not Who'd You Rather, but you only get one.
Let's bring it. I'm intrigued.
So you only get one. Don't be giving me two names. Angry likes to go off on these.
I'll say McDonald's. No, wait.
Not yet. No food tonight, but I thought about it. You're down two.
You only get one. Okay.
You're down to NBA Finals. 16 seconds on the clock. You have a clipboard in your hand. You're drawing up a play for one player to catch and score.
Chitwood.
Not in the NBA. Go.
Oh, this is easy for me. Want me to jump on it? There's three guys I would only
You go-
consider, but
you only
I'll
get one.
just give you the one guy, and I would take him over anybody. Is the Hick from French Lick was one of the, if not the greatest clutch player of all time in any sport.
I knew that was
he's
coming.
He's not getting the ball to shoot it. You answered it for me. He will score. Boom. Everybody else is in
If you're
second.
not, if you're not
Go get
taking
him.
Bird, you're taking Jordan. That's my thought.
Yep. He would be.
Nah, just to be different. How can you argue with those two guys? I'll go Curry.
I'm going to go with a guy that I learned more about from Kobe Bryant, just watching videos. Kobe Bryant, I don't know if you guys heard this. He said he was the toughest player he's ever played against. He scored 13 points in 33 seconds. I forget how long ago that was.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going Tracy McGrady.
Oh, I thought you were going
That's
Reggie
what I like.
Miller
Yeah, I
for
know,
a
it was
second.
Reggie Miller.
Boy, oh boy. This was definitely going to be your last time down here.
He had some great highlights, though. I mean, that one segment when he went bananas there, that
Against
was
the Spurs.
something. And by the way, he was good on three different teams.
Hall of Famer.
I was just talking about that but he was good on all of them.
People forget about him, really.
And he might have
Yeah.
played on more
They
than
forget
that,
about
but I'm thinking Magic, Rockets, Raptors, where he played with his cousin. Who's his cousin?
Vince Carter. Well, he
Half
gets
man.
crapped on because they didn't win any playoff games really. But he went to Orlando. We was out in Orlando, and then he went to What did he start with?
Orlando.
What was it?
No,
No.
Toronto.
Toronto.
yeah.
That's right. That's where he was, and then he went to Orlando, and him and Grant Hill signed, and that's when Grant Hill broke his
Got
ankle.
hurt,
and,
yeah.
and then he went to Houston, and he had Yao Ming, and he got hurt. So he never had another
He never had his
guy.
chance.
Yeah,
If he was LeBron, he'd have like 8 other guys.
yeah. He didn't score a crap load of points though.
But for me, I mean, I think about guys that can kind of get their shot off whenever they want. And Jay, you could attest to this probably, like being a big basketball guy. T-Mac, watching him growing up, like he would get his shot off mid-range, threes.
Yeah, all-time scorer. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a
All
good.
right.
I like it. I like that one.
Oh, I don't get the answer.
I said I liked his answer.
16 seconds. I'm running some sort of action to get it on a wing, little cross screen. I'm getting it to the captain, and no matter who's guarding him, the captain got 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, middle, the most unblockable shot in NBA history, the sky hook, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's nothing you guys could say. I see all your
I
looks.
thought you were talking about Patrick Ewing for a second.
if
I'm
his
like, what the
goggles
hell is this
fogged
guy
up, though,
talking
Bob?
about, man?
Ewing, like the shot never came down. It hit like the rafters, dude.
I
It's
thought
like
you
on
were
a-
talking. You needed a 3.
No,
think-
no. I said to score down 2. Next question, Mr. Bedell.
I like the question.
We are down 3. Same exact scenario. It's basically going to be coming off a screen, or you got to dribble into it and let it fly. But we need a 3. We got 1 set, probably 2 or 3 screens to get it done.
My answer
Who's
is the
shooting
same.
it? You can't answer the same guy. All right, go ahead. Who'd you say? Curry.
I said Curry. I mean,
I'll take Jesus Shuttlesworth. Ray Allen.
going Ray.
He actually did it. I mean, off
He did.
LeBron's
He
crazy
did do
miss. E? Need 3.
I'm gonna have to go Ray Allen myself too.
Angry? Larry.
He's the greatest cut. If you don't want me to pick Bird this time,
I thought we're not- yeah, that-
I'll give you a 1. I'll give you Reggie Miller because he was an
that's good.
unbelievable
That
shooter.
was going to be my guy
That's
too.
my
Yeah.
guy.
I hate to say it, but
But I would take Bird. Blindfolded, one hand over the river, through the window. Off
I'll
the
go
back.
a name we haven't said.
Know what I'm talking
Just to
about?
throw one out there. Crazy. Dana Barrows.
Nice.
To do what?
what the? Who invited this guy?
Who's he passing to?
What the? What just happened?
Throwing a
Here?
different name out there.
To
than
do
what-
Yeah, that was a different name.
It
All
was either
right.
that or like
Dana
John,
Barrows can
or
shoot
John
it, man.
Paxton.
He could shoot it.
To do what?
5'0". He could shoot. He could score.
That's where I was going. I remember that speech after the NBA Finals with the Bulls. Jordan didn't want the ball, so they drew it up for Kerr, and he knocked it down.
How about this one? Big
that
shot,
speech?
Bob.
I'll tell you what, he did it in the big spot. He doesn't have the threes everybody else has, but
Yeah,
Robert Horry, without a doubt.
He made big shots, but I'm not sure, and I'm not disrespecting him. I don't think a play was ever drawn up for him, though.
He's usually
There was a
went-
lot of kickouts and long rebounds.
I know Angry Jay will hate this. I don't think he's very far out of a Hall of Fame conversation. I mean, he's been on some teams, man.
No doubt,
And he
but-
didn't hurt any of them. But my
Statistically,
guy,
he's not a Hall of Famer. Though.
You are right, though. I hate it.
so if I may,
Go ahead.
I mean, you guys took all the
You're gonna
fun
say Clay?
guys. I'm not going to say Clay. Your mom call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
Pete Alonso.
He doesn't play basketball.
Bounce back here.
Go ahead. Who's your guy?
Just because you guys took my other guys, I was surprised driving around with my son the other day. We were just going over the top 3-point shooters out there, like career, and like fucking Corver is up there, man.
Yeah.
Like he got a ton. And by the way, I was asking about the difference between him and Reddick. That's how it came up. I go, what's the difference between Reddick and Corver? Corver's like number 4 or 5. Maybe 6, maybe 5 or 6. And you know where Reddick is all time? 18.
All-time threes
what?
made.
All-time threes made. Corver's got a ton. And you remember how he shot him? And it kind of reminds me of Mike Miller when he was on, too. Remember that finals? But, like, it's kind of like Mo. If you ever read Mo's autobiography, hey, this is a spiritual man, but he said in his mind there was a tunnel from his 2 fingers to Jorge Posada, and nothing else he heard, saw, or it didn't matter. Corver was like the same thing. It was like, and I saw this thing that Curry said. He looks at the 3 little the 3 eyelets for the net
Yep.
closest to him.
Yep.
And he goes, that's about the width of a ball. He goes, I'm trying to get it right over those, and I don't want to be left or right. So it seems like with Corver, there was just a tunnel from his hand to the bottom of the net. So I'm going to say Corver. What the heck? All right.
Okay.
We all love coaching basketball, watching basketball, covering basketball. This is why it's my favorite sport, because the momentum swings are just like they can overcome the gym, they can overcome the participants, coach or player, whatever. But when Uncle Momentum is finally on your side, you got it. You just got a couple in a row. You rattled in a couple threes, maybe you even banked one in, but like you got it. You need one more to end this sucker with like 3 minutes to go, and there's a deflection, and the ball's in the open court, and the house will come down no matter who makes this basket, even if it's like a Hoosiers layup. But we live in the 2000s here, so like get your popcorn ready. Who do you want that ball to come to and be like, game on?
What's
and
the actual question?
Who's going to dunk this ball?
Who's going to dunk it?
And bring the crowd.
You know,
to,
there's no doubt he's dunking it because he's in the open court.
it's
This one's easy for me too.
Larry Bird.
No. the best dunker of all time is Vince Carter.
Yeah, you took mine, so I'll think of another one. Go ahead, you guys.
Easy for me. Calvin Davis. Bobby, you saw one of his best dunks at the Hartford Pro-Am.
Yep. Your teammate.
I want to say the doctor out of UMass.
Yeah.
You know what? That one against the
Michael Cooper.
Yeah.
Bobby Mack.
By the way, Larry Bird said it was the best defenders ever guarded him. Michael Cooper.
No kidding. I got one that's kind of out there. How about James Worthy?
It's the same as Bird. He'll jump off his left foot and like snake it in there.
When the Lakers were good and he got the ball on the wing and you had no doubt that it was going down, like that was pretty cool. Like Magic, no look to him on a 3-on-1. I enjoyed those ones.
I'm gonna say Jordan just because, like, even back to his Carolina days, he would do that rock the baby one and did not even bring it to his left hand, and like kind of ballsy with Dean Smith over there. He'd probably take you out if you miss it, but like, I take Jordan no matter
Jordan
what.
in college, especially because no one had seen anything like it.
Angry Jay, do you remember how we used to videotape the One Shining Moment videos and like rewatch them and over and over? Now you just put on YouTube and they're on there. But do you remember there was one dunk that a guy got in that tournament? And this is what I'm talking about, these type of moments where he was going to send it down and the game was like, it's over. And the guy, when he jumped up to dunk it, his point guard behind him that probably couldn't dunk, jumped up and did the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of moment I'm talking about.
There's a dunk. You remember Clyde Drexler's dunk for Houston against Memphis? He jumped over a guy named Andre Turner. Literally
Yeah,
jumped
number
over
10,
him.
by
I
the
was
way.
like in 7th or 8th grade. I remember. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you hadn't seen anything like that.
How about Blake Griffin, too, in college and going into his first couple of years?
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Power.
That's
Power.
coming up in a minute.
Power.
I'll give you a couple of them.
Mr. Bedell, do you remember the center on that Memphis team?
I got to give you honorable mention, guys.
Hold on. Mr. Bedell, you remember the center on the Memphis team? We said Andre Turner was the point guard. Vincent Askew on a wing. Right? Vincent
You talk
Askew?
about
Keith Askew? What was his name?
Vincent Askew.
Vincent
Wasn't
Askew.
Keith Lee, was it?
There was two of them. Keith Lee, and the other one was supposed to be better. The other one played in the NBA more. You remember? Number 50? Is it 50?
I think I do. Bedford?
Yep.
William Bedford.
William
Will,
Bedford.
yeah.
All right. Honorable mention. It's over, guys.
Dominique Wilkins got to get a mention in this thing. And how about Blake Griffin for you younger guys? Like, incredible dunker.
Yep.
Daryl Griffith, Dr. Duncanstein.
Dr. Duncanstein.
All right. Similarly,
How old are you? Jesus.
do we have
You like that 1980 Louisville team?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was your team.
Scooter and Rodney McRae.
Jerome Lane might have had the best dunk.
You were
too.
in college in 1980?
His dunk, that dunk for
Christ,
Pitt.
you are old.
Send
Who the
it
hell
in,
let this
Jerome.
guy down here?
All right. Similarly, you got the clipboard in your hand. You're going to execute this play. Point after timeout. Points after timeout. Right. That's a thing now.
ATO.
You set it up. You're going to throw it up to one of these lob guys, a Griffin, a Rain Man, Sean Kemp, a Leonard Bias, one of these types of guys. Do you remember Miles Swift, by the way? Look his YouTube's up. Dude, he's got some of the sickest dunks ever in the NBA.
He's like the 4th pick in the draft one year.
But you're coming out and you're going to run some sort of backdoor lob. Who's putting that dime there so they can
Who's
can do
making
it?
the pass?
Yep.
I'm going to say Bird to McHale.
What the?
My God.
We're doing
What's going
combination.
on here
Dunk of all
tonight?
time.
We're doing combination or just passer?
Just the passer.
I'll go. I'm sure you probably want to go with a certain guy, so I'll go with Jason Kidd. Unbelievable passer. Underrated player. I hated his
the
guts
Magic
too.
Man.
Still hate his guts.
The Magic Man.
Pretty good.
I'm going to go Jason Kidd as well. That year he had with the Nets where he's throwing lobs up to Richard Jefferson and Vince Carter was crazy.
I'm gonna go Rondo.
Calvin Martin too.
I'm gonna go
I like
Rondo.
it.
Rondo's good
And
with that.
I was inspired. There's a video that just surfaced the last couple of days. I don't know whether it's a pro-am game or whatever it was, but he like dribbled the ball from the corner to the wing with his back to the basket and threw it over his head, and the guy went up and yammed it. It was like somebody like a Montrezl Harrell, but not him because he can't really jump. But it was somebody. It was a pro, maybe Nene or somebody like that.
How about Stockton too?
Stockton, yeah. Well, again, to a terrible dunker, but like, yeah. All right. Let's get off sports for a minute.
All right, McDonald's.
You moved to L.A. You're a film producer, and you got your shot. You're gonna pick one guy to be a badass and give your family generational wealth, or you're gonna flop. Who's gonna be your badass male character starring in this movie?
I can't pick myself.
I'm gonna go Denzel.
You got enough of that in him, without a doubt.
In any era,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Mark Wahlberg.
I love him.
I'll give you one. Ed Harris.
Steady Eddie. Never wasn't in many bad films, right? It just,
Yeah, he's kind of crazy.
I'm going Samuel Jackson.
Let's do another round.
Another round? Go.
I'll say De Niro.
Tough-
yeah, De Niro
tough
in his
bastard.
De Niro in his prime.
Who else?
I'd go Clint Eastwood.
Of course
Showing
you
your
would.
age again.
Jesus.
Jesus.
It was either him or
Christ.
Pee Wee Reese. Jesus.
What was the one with the
Charleston
monkey?
Heston.
The movie that he had the monkey in. That was a box hit.
Tough guys.
That was a box hit splash.
All the which way you can, or all the everything.
all
will lose
the
or
right.
something.
Anyway, that nice.
What was the
Adam and
orangutan?
Adam and Eve.
What was the orangutan thing?
What I don't remember the
Clyde.
I just,
Clyde, yes sir.
Oh yeah.
Right turn, Clyde. Bang.
I'm gonna steal Croc's over the shoulder because this guy was big time for a little bit. Russell Crowe.
Well, how come we're going? Listen, you make fun of me for like picking two dunkers, and these guys are going through like actors now. Like, what?
He said another round.
Well, why are we getting second round for actors?
The producer said another
I
round.
asked for extra dunkers, and you make
Who's that
fun
guy
of
that
me.
played Moses?
Let's not do a third round because I don't know what Badal's going to say next.
How about I don't know the guy's name, but the guy who played the lead actor.
Gregory Peck.
in Peaky Blinders.
Who invited this guy?
And he's doing the
He's in
Oppenheimer or whatever it is.
He's Oppenheimer. Yeah, I don't know his name, but
How about James Gandolfini? One
How about
time.
Jimmy Stewart? It's a Wonderful Life.
We got any more, Mac?
I like Jack.
We got any more?
Yeah, I got one. All right. One motivational speech to take home the title. If you want to put it in context, let's talk about like student athletes. So like, it could be a high school statey or a natty, and you know, you were in the locker room for like natties, or at least a chance to get it. What do you got? I mean, it's got to be somebody. It doesn't have to be a high school or college coach. Who do you want in there one time to give him the old win-win for the Gipper?
my guy, well, I'm sure we all feel the same, but for me it was Valvano.
Nah, I got one.
I'm not talking about his speech when he was dying. That's a guy that would make me run through a wall.
I go Herbie Brooks, man. I mean, how could you go wrong with that speech? I hear it to this day. I heard it 1,000 times. I want to run through a wall.
Textbook.
Oh, okay. You give me one. I mean, I can't pick myself.
Baby, one time.
That one is great. I'm going to go Ed Reed. The one when he was in Miami. Short, sweet, to the point. Got everyone ready to go.
How about Vince Lombardi?
There we go. There's two things
Don't
in the
remember
world:
what he said, but
winning and winning.
Who you got, Jeff? George Hallis?
You were there for it.
Who you got?
Papa Bear.
Jesus made a pretty good speech on the cross.
Dr. James Naismith.
Jimmy Naismith. All right. The answer to this next question cannot be Dave Roberts. Game 7 of the World Series, tie game. Get the guy on with 2 outs. You got to swipe a bag.
Barry Bird.
Who's that guy? Yeah, he'd be safe.
Ricky Anderson.
Ricky?
I take Jeter.
All-time leader.
I take Jeter. He'll make it somehow.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Vince Coleman.
I mean, Ricky's the obvious one.
He's got to get on base though. Like Jeter, get on base.
Who's the guy for the Reds that was like, he's Billy Hamilton, is he?
Yeah.
That's not who I would take. But
You take Herb Washington?
Loddy, you got one?
Henderson's the go-to. But I'll go Kenny Lofton if Henderson's not available because he was always on base.
Oven mitt or no oven mitt?
Oven mitts are not allowed in any part of the show.
I still don't understand him. I'm gonna have to go Kenny Lofton as well, Loddy.
I like it.
How about Herb Washington, the pinch runner for the early '70s?
How about who was Vince Coleman's other fast guy? 'Cause
McGee?
Willie
Wilson
McGee.
McGee?
Yeah, I'm not taking him either. I'm probably leaning toward.
John Crow.
I mean, Ricky's the guy. I'm leaning toward. You know, just because I miss him and I would love some fire in that dugout, I'll just take Brett the Jet. I mean, he can fly. How about Butler too, dude? I mean, I'm on like a Brett Butler.
Is he sponsoring the show?
I wish he'd sponsor the Yankees, man. They play baseball, dude. That guy played baseball. He didn't have all the
Brett
five
Butler's
tools.
never been mentioned 3 times in anywhere in the last 25 years, I don't think.
Guy had one tool, and it's the one no one cares about
It
now
was like a
because you're not allowed to
sitcom.
hustle.
Hey,
There's a
got
sitcom with Brett Butler, too, wasn't there?
Yeah, but bunting's not one of the tools.
Very
He does
underrated
one
player.
thing, and it's something that they don't care about now because you're not allowed to do it. Hustle and run.
Well, the Yankees, the Yankees can't do that.
Bedell had,
Some of the other teams are okay
Bedell
with
had
it.
Rhett Butler. Gone with the wind.
All right, same question, but now you got the right fielder. Who's throwing this guy out?
Oh,
There's a lot to choose from.
I'm
here.
going to go for. There's a lot. I'll take Parker.
Good one. I'll go Winfield.
That's a good one, too. Next to my list.
Jose Guillen.
Hose.
It's gonna be
He had a perfect
right
name
fielder.
for him. I did say right fielder. Is Winfield play?
Yeah.
Right field. I thought it was left for some reason.
He played them both. Who are you going with? Go ahead.
No, you got it.
I got 2 guys. I want to see if you take one.
Vlad.
That's a good one.
I can't decide between Ichiro and. I'll take Ichiro.
Is Dewey on there? Is Dewey right fielder?
He was fine. He was
I was
one.
thinking.
Yeah.
Those
What's
are guys
Dewey
that
the other
will-
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys have.
Sorry. All right.
Jesse Barfield.
You're not
That's a
taking,
small honorable mention too.
Billy McKinney.
No.
Bowers.
They did make up an injury for
Right
Billy today.
I
They
know,
told
I
him
know.
he was on the IL.
Guy's played every day for 40 straight games. Now he's hurt.
Yeah, they
Did
just
Gardy
told
play
him.
right at all?
Who?
Gardy?
Yeah, he had to roll
3
it in.
cutoffs?
You got-
Johnny Damon. Yeah.
All right. You're throwing a banger at your house. You got 100 of your closest friends.
I don't
You
have,
could surprise.
I have 100 friends.
Well,
Jay,
I know
you got
you,
5 of your closest friends. They're all here.
Friends.
They're all here.
you do like music, though. So I know you've been practicing social distancing since way before the pandemic. But
Is the pandemic over? I thought the pandemic was over. Jay, it's over. It's been over for a couple years.
take that mask off, Jay.
I'll
Why you
never put
mad?
that mask on.
So, throwing a banger at your house, 100 of your closest friends have no idea someone's going to walk through the door and throw up a 5-song set. And who you got?
That's a good one.
Beasties.
Coming in hot, Lottie.
He dropped his headphones too after that.
I mean, do the 100 people have to like it, or is it just
No,
me?
no, just
I'll go with
minute.
Disturbed.
They should. That's perfect for you. Commish?
Oh, the commission can think of a million of these. I'm gonna say.
You only get one.
I'm bringing in Prince.
Oh, nice.
That's a good one.
Let's go crazy.
Not surprised. E.
Jay-Z.
New York. Can we get it one time? That was the 2009 song, too, right?
Saw him in concert. It was great. Best concert I've ever seen.
I'm torn between 2. I mean, I'm probably going to go Run DMC just because there's a couple really good ones. But in old school, and like Jay said, you know, I'll like it if nobody else does. But Johnny, House of Pain. I mean, the obvious one ends the night.
I just
But
don't know enough of
do
the
they
other
have
stuff, yeah.
enough other songs? I mean, there's like this Salutations
You just play
one.
it 5
You
times.
said 5.
Yeah, you know what? You could play it 5 times. And you know what inspired this is old school when Snoopa-Loop
Yes.
was.
Snoop Dogg.
We're not going straight.
Mo
to
money,
our
mo
guest?
money,
We gotta
mo
get
money,
guests.
mo.
What do you guys got? Bedel's got the Beach Boys. What do you guys got?
I'd have to say Lawrence Welk.
Oh my God!
Who was it? Room 12?
Lawrence Welk.
Cracker? Rolling Stones.
I
what do you got?
I'll go with you too.
All right, that's good.
All right. Oh,
crowd will be
satisfied,
happy.
guys. I thought you were going ACDC.
You know,
by the
from
way.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when Jeff Spicoli saved the girl from drowning, he took all his reward money and spent it on Van Halen playing
Let's go, Eddie.
What was the guy's name? The football
That's a
player.
good call.
Spicoli wrecks his car. What was the football player's name in the movie?
That was Forrest Whitaker, but what was
Yeah,
his
what was the
name?
guy's name? Yeah.
Mandela.
This guy's one-liners tonight. Jesus.
I never saw Fast Times.
All right, last question.
Oh, wait. Great movie. It's a great
you
movie.
serious?
I saw that before. Animal House, never seen that.
All right,
That's a great
last question of the night. And I know listeners are antsy for this fantasy football talk. You got one more week. You're gonna have to wait. But
Yeah, they're dying to hear that.
Mariano Rivera cannot be the answer to this question. So now I think you know the question.
Oh boy.
3, 4, 5's coming up for the bad guys. You're up 1. Game 7. We got no pitchers left. You get one guy to go out there.
Oh, it's easy. That's easy. Without not Mo, aren't we picking Clark Schmidt? He's our closer in the playoffs now. What's going on with the Yankees? Oh my God.
Even though he gave up a couple big homers in his playoff career, I'm going Eck.
Okay, that's fair. You should grow the Eck hairdo.
And I can't. And it wouldn't look like
Those days
that.
are gone.
Kamish?
I'll go Bruce Sutter. Or Goose Gossage.
Kamish, E, what do you got? Give me a closer. Give me 3 outs.
Mariano before Mariano, John Wetland.
Cool guy.
He's a Hall
Look
of
him up.
Famer. I don't know if he deserves to be. Lee Smith.
Nobody take Trevor Hoffman, huh? Scott Brocious said hi.
Well, I didn't go yet.
Well, you weren't going to take him.
No. You guys aren't going to like who I'm going to take.
Shocker.
Petey.
Who?
I don't care if he's a closer or not. If we're out of gas, we need 3 outs. Bringing in Pedro, even if he threw 120 the day before.
Matsui says hi.
So does Posada. Hit a Nerf ball up the middle. I'm rooting for it, but Jesus. I mean, great. I'm talking 3 outs.
I had no idea we could bring someone on
Yeah.
the bullpen. Jesus.
Yeah, I thought we were
closer,
talking
we got-
closers only.
Yeah.
I'll take then if I got to go closer now. I'll take the guy from like Class A or whatever his name is. Now is Indians?
Yeah.
Is that who he is?
I would take
Manuel Class A or
Okay.
something like that.
You can go like Bob Gibson. I mean, you're talking a whole nother range of guys if you need 3 outs.
Randy Johnson. Still
Yep.
mowing down Yankees.
Smoltz.
I like it though.
Thanks, everybody. YouTube, Spotify, listen for them both. With the Stayin Hot podcast, want to thank special guest, Coach Eric O'Toole.
Appreciate you guys having me. It's an honor to be around some legends around here.
I like this guy.
Where are they?
Bedell, he
We're
was
still
clearly
looking.
talking about you. And
By
Crocker.
legend, means really
I'd
old.
like to thank Lawrence Welk for coming.
Once had the longest field goal in St. Paul Catholic High School football history.
20 what?
That's 20, yeah.
28 yards. Huh?
What's 28 times 3?
Thank goodness it didn't last very long.
Lasted a week.
All right, the next time we're in here, school will have started. We'll be more miserable than we are right now.
You guys are gonna get
And the
back to
Yanks
school.
will have officially tanked, and who knows, maybe by the next one, Cash is gone. Thanks, everybody. Good night.